Hello everyone, this is Col Sanjay Pande and with me is Shubhankar,
Everybody.
and we are at the 10th and the final episode of the initial package. You can actually consider the first 10 episodes as the foundation to anything that we are going to be talking in the youth and mind power or my practiced leadership. Just to recap, I have put everything in a very simple figure. I'll just show this figure to you. I'll bring it closer to the camera. As soon as you see the inner circle, I have divided that into four. These four are truthfulness, honesty, humility, moral courage. All of them are contributing only towards one, that is the character. Thereafter, there is a very distinct arrow as to how it is going. To commitment, how this goes here, capability, and how this goes to contribution. And this all is encompassed in one circle, which actually is taking you to the doorstep of the leadership cycle. It simply means one thing: I do not consider any man worth to be groomed for leadership till the time he clears all of these. Now, when I am talking to you, I talk as a head of the organization. I talk to you as a vice president, as a general manager, as an assistant manager, as a supervisor. I talk to you as everyone because this is applicable at every level. Ideally, this should be starting from top. Unfortunately, the entire mess of an organization again starts only from top. How many of us have actually that courage, first and foremost, to accept that yes, this is not the criteria? And secondly, if this was the criteria, why is your organization not performing as it should? With this as the criteria, if this be the type of people you have with you, and if the organization is not performing, it is high time to see whether the person on top has overstayed his hospitality. I'm being very blunt. Our series is all about no bullshit. We will not talk, airy fairy just to make please people. No, we are talking about efficiency. And if this is how I feel about it, as a youngster, as someone who has put in 4 5 years of work ex, who has learned every trick of running a company in a most professional manner, someone who has learned every department and how it functions, and now with handful of people the type of work we can generate. I want some very frank comments from Shubhankar. And like we have always told you, not even one video of ours is scripted. These are extempore, candid. We just discuss what is the overall heading of this particular episode. And once we have discussed, we simply come in front of the camera and sit and start. Shubhankar has no idea what I'm going to ask him. I have no idea what he's going to ask me. And that's why when we talk, we always talk looking at camera because the other guy has put us to test. All yours.
Yeah, I think this thing that Sir just made actually makes the all the episodes that we have been talking about in the last, I would say it's been 10 episodes now. This is the summary of all of that. I felt it firsthand when I joined Colonel Pandey's company. I felt like there's this meme online that I've seen a couple of times where there's a baby who's holding a bazooka, and it simply
Yeah.
and and it simply says day one at your new job. That's how I felt, because uh, I've just felt that underprepared when I joined the company, and I was that overwhelmed for the first few months, for first 1 year or so. Uh, Developing my myself in these four areas where character came in quite a bit. Developing my commitment was always there, it wasn't an issue. We've spoken about commitment at length in the previous videos, so personally for me commitment was not a big deal. But building the character part, because it interfered a lot with my own work, building and commitment, and then on top of that building your capabilities, which is a very very painful process, and then finally coming up to contribution, where everything ends up and adds up into you affecting an organization positively. So that for me was a very very long journey, very painful journey, but over time, and then once all of that started happening slowly, I realized that people in the organization, even though we're a very small setup, uh, started accepting me as as someone who's in a leadership position, who works directly with Colonel Pandey. And over time, there are of course things that, the buck stops with Colonel Pandey, but there are a lot of things that I have taken over from him on the company side of things, that he just doesn't look into on a day-to-day basis. And I could not do that if the people who are working under us were not to accept me as a leader. We have had a lot of colleagues in the company who have come and go, and for the people in the company, the subordinates never really accepted them as their leaders. So that was a big, very, very big pointer for me, that for you to be a leader in an organization, you must first learn to lead yourself, which is what we have been talking about by talking about the four C's. And once you do that, you have a hope and a prayer that you can become a decent leader. But it's not, but we definitely don't mean that you are going to definitely be a great leader. It's just that your journey starts over there. So that has been my personal experience with working with these four C's, and implementing them, and my own sort of start to my own journey, or towards leadership. Because I'll be very honest, the last 3.5 years that I have been working with Colonel Pandey, I have been fully invested in developing these four C's for myself. So even I don't have a lot of experience, I can't talk about leadership at length. I can definitely talk about my journey in these four C's, but nothing more than that. So, what I've realized is that all of this that we are talking about is evergreen stuff. It is going to stay with you for life, and you have to, if you really want to implement and take away something, you have to just do it for life. It's a ever repeating cycle. You're always going to keep on evolving on these four C's. You might find that, you're, like I said in a couple of videos ago, I had my character, a list of character traits that I wanted to learn, that I wanted to imbibe, and I haven't really revised that over the last 10 years or so. So I'm going to do that very, very shortly. So everything from character, from your capabilities, your commitment should always be there, and then your contribution, it's always going to be evolving. You're always going to be growing, which will effectively make you a much, much better person and will add up to your leadership. Over to you, sir.
So, where does this bring us to? The 10 episodes, this is the 10th and the final one, before we take over another major subject. Where does it bring us to? The first thing, any organization, whether it is bureaucracy, whether it is military, or whether it is corporate, why I always only refer to these three are because only these three require that sort of a leadership, because the numbers are large and the hierarchy on top is very, very narrow. So it's very important that only the right man reaches the top.
Yeah.
Where exactly we are on that, I will not comment on that. My point to you, two questions I will ask. Give me a combination that you want from a man which is stronger than what I'm holding in my hand. Give me combination, either reduce or increase in this. To me, these are the absolute mandatory minimum and maximum requirements so far as I am concerned as an organization, and as an organization, I am concerned with the person who is working for me. So, this is one. My second point, take out your appraisal forms, one, the form that you followed, one every 5 years. Every time a column is added, remember dilution has taken place. Every time a new column gets added, a dilution has taken place. When I was in army, when I joined back in 1981, 82, I remember the form used to be of 4 pages, 5 pages for officers. And only the first two had a few columns, 10, 11, something like this. I left in 2005. The form, my rank also was a higher rank, but then the form had gone to, I think, 11, 12 pages. 3, 4 pages took only in characteristics, and each would be graded 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. And then there were numerous rules. All 9 pointers like this, all 8 like this, 8.5 like this, and they would be totaled and they would be divided by a number. The thing is, HR will complicate things every day by adding something new or some based on some study someone has carried out, some institute has given. But the basic point remains, is there anyone you want stronger than this? Second, how many do you have who have this? Rather than judging someone on 40 parameters, judge him on 8 and see. Keep those people separate. My advice would be, sit down, think, organization belongs to you. It is up to you to keep the organization alive, kicking, and capable. It is made of people, trust people. Trust people and they will trust you. Have the courage not to promote a person who does not fulfill these characteristics. Have that courage.
Yeah.
Have the courage to sack a person. Have the courage to create a core at every level. Be much more liberal at lower levels. Become stricter at higher levels. So, the time you do this sort of exercise, this entire revamp takes place, then the execution is very important. If you are committed to the organization, if you are committed to wherever you are, for whatever number of years you hold the pen, you will be able to actually revamp the organization. You do not have to be at top. At every level, wherever you are, this is applicable for your subordinates. Follow this, and after some time, you'll realize that probably about 20-30% of the manpower is not required, because those 10% they are more than capable.
I could see this being applied in so many different organizations. You just look at the bureaucracy, sir. There are so many bureaucrats, civil servants who, after retirement or even during their service, have said that, if bureaucracy was trimmed by around 30% or so, it would just improve efficiency rather than decreasing it.
So it all comes down to that only.
And
yeah, since we are not discussing any particular organization,
yeah,
so I would honestly not like to discuss bureaucracy.
No, so the point I was trying to make is that whatever type of organization there is, even if it's a 5-person company or it's a government,
That's the point.
the point still applies that you are only as efficient as your people, and you don't require more than 3 or 4 people to do the work of 20.
Absolutely.
In the normal sense, that what people they don't really leverage themselves as much as they can to their highest potential.
So this is not about trimming. This is not about. This is only about capability and efficiency, and producing leaders. Identify. You want to keep all 100 of them. Keep all 100. Keep all 1,000. But let only those people come up who actually fulfill this. What we have been talking in the 10 episodes. And I think with this we will wrap up this particular episode, the final episode out of the 10. the first ones, which I always call the foundation. And from here, we'll go places, much higher places, discussing much deeper issues that, a organization faces.
Yeah.
And it was great having Shubhankar share his experience first hand in front of the camera, because we otherwise do not discuss on these topics at all. And absolutely great job done. And you are being honest and you are absolutely candid. And now I'll sort him out for having criticized me on camera later on.
When
Bye
did
bye
I
and take care.
wait? When did I criticize you?
Okay, that was on the lighter side. Thank you so much for being with us, and I hope you have enjoyed. Please write as many comments as possible for us to improve or to draw attention to certain issues which may have missed.
Or if you have any doubts about what we spoke of, or any questions that you want to ask, maybe it's about your own scenario, whether it's your job or your personal stuff that you would like to implement all of the things we've been talking about. We both of us, we see all of your comments, and you're going to get a reply within a day.
Rest assured, every comment is read by me. I am ready to maybe take up to 500, 600,000 comments per day and give the commitment that I will respond to each. That is the type of commitment I have towards you and this videos and the channel that we have created purely as an interactive channel with absolutely no commercial benefit in mind. So you will see it over a period of next year how much we contribute to you. Thank you so much. This is Colonel Sanjay Pande and Shubhankar Chaudhary saying bye to you. Bye bye.
Bye.